Oh yeah.
Welcome back to Destination Divergence, everyone. This is the Winds of Change group, who is currently on the plane of Eternal Dawn, Irian. Last time, you guys, let's see, last time, I believe we, all of the Plane of Dawn was last time, right, so far? Pretty much? We went straight from Chaos to Dawn, or has it been 2 sessions in Dawn?
We've had 2 sessions in Dawn. Yeah.
Okay, 2 sessions in Dawn. Well, last time, you guys, right, because we ended in the garden. Okay, so you left the garden. You managed to speak to the gardener, the architect of the garden. Understand a little bit about the place you're in, but, I mean, honestly, it was, a little bit, cryptic how that guy talked. He didn't use a lot of very long descriptions for things. He seemed a little bit simple and straightforward in his descriptions, and kind of assumed you knew a lot more than you did with his descriptions as well, which wasn't super helpful. But eventually, you uncovered that the method to move between the layers of this plane involves just some sort of ritual, some sort of meditation, some focusing of your thoughts and your emotions on a place that aligns your inner self with where you want to go. There are, of course, many different destinations within each of these layers, which you have already uncovered. There was that ruin covered in trees. You didn't need to meditate to get out of there. There was the place with the flames, the giant bonfire where people were making merry constantly and eternally. Didn't have to meditate to get out of there. But in order to leave from a place like the garden with all these varied environments and strange plants and just extreme chaos of life, to a place like, to a place like the refuge is where you went next. You needed to meditate on hope, on tranquility, on calmness, on healing and relaxation. Which Faye led the group in a nice meditation over while you all sat in one of the flower fields of the garden. And when you all opened your eyes, you were indeed in the refuge, a sprawling, non-Euclidean spa of sorts, where every door you opened was different and led to a different room that made no sense in logical space, and where you eventually met the architect of the refuge, who gave a few of you some different wishes fulfilled, basically. Since you all had helped spread hope to the material plane previously, letting them know of the deeds you're planning, the trying to save all of the human souls, all of the living souls, really, of even the animals of this plane, of working with everyone to try and make the next world something that the previous world's occupants could move to, instead of being abandoned into the nothingness, really, that would be normal in this normal ascension that happens at the sort of end of the lifetime of the universe. Due to you spreading that hope, she granted a few wishes to each of you. There were things like, make sure my family is safe and happy. There were things like, I'm haunted by nightmares of the people I've killed. Can that be fixed, please? There are things like, I've got this terrible artifact that is very powerful, and I like its power, but I'm also tempted by the evil, and I would really rather not have that temptation or that evil alongside me. And a way home was another thing that was asked for. Milos, for some reason I'm blanking on what you had suggested for your wish.
I had asked to not be sold.
Right, that's right. All of your stacked contracts that you had taken out on your soul, since you already figured, well, I'm screwed already, my soul is already forfeit, I might as well take out even more collateral against it. All those contracts are gone now. The architect of the refuge.
My list was really curious to know what would happen.
That is fair, and that could have been interesting, but now you don't have to worry about it, at least.
Yeah.
the architect of the refuge has broken those contracts for you. It seems she is quite powerful and was able to do so.
I did still want to stay blue, though.
Yes, indeed.
Even though I know that was part of a contract.
You are still a tiefling, technically, as you still have gained the rewards of the contracts, which really worked out pretty well for Milos, honestly, all things considered. You dealt with like a couple years of anxiety of like, oh no, what happens when I die? And then, you got all the benefits anyways, and you didn't have to die or lose your soul or anything. I'm sure all the devils will be very pleased with this turn of events, and there will be no consequences in the future.
Oh, absolutely.
Indeed. Then, after these proceedings, after you were granted hope by the Architect of Hope, you moved on. You sat down, led another meditation, and found yourself in the Amaranthine City, which represents growth, one of the innermost layers of the Plane of Dawn. A sprawling, infinite city from which your current vantage point gives you a great view. Just city skylines out to the horizon on all sides. There are like Pegasus riders flying through the skies between buildings as guards and such. There are people filling the streets below. Constant celebrations. There are murals of the great victories of whatever this Amaranthine City's empire would be. Just endless glory and life and seemingly happiness here in this city. Very, very different than the other two layers you've been on so far. And you found yourself in a familiar looking place, this platform high above the sky, and this is where I need to make a few corrections because I did describe things a little bit incorrectly last time. I fucked up. So, what you were standing on was indeed an analog to SAO's sanctuary, essentially. His observatory and his orrery and all of that. The same island that was floating above Passage where you guys uncovered the Draconic prophecy for the first time, where that whole arc started, really. That's where you found yourself. And upon entering the place, this is where I fucked up, you didn't see SAO in human form. In fact, you didn't really see a human form at all. What you saw really couldn't be called a dragon either, though it was very dragon-like. What you saw was a massive, draconic silhouette made of pure, glowing light. Not so bright that you can't make out the shape of it, and honestly still dim compared to just the bright light that is always around you on this plane, this almost blinding state that your eyes have eventually adjusted to, perhaps in part due to the constant magical regeneration that is keeping you running at all times. So you see this dragon silhouette with no head and no neck. Instead, it has an orb floating where the head would be, off of the body, even brighter than the rest, shining like a sun. That is the figure you see in this place. And this is the figure that has greeted you. And that is where we left off last time.
No, thank you for the correction.
Of course. It is a much cooler description than I gave because I misread the section I was looking at. All right. So, you all entered into the orrery that looks so familiar and see this pearlescent dragon with a sun for a head standing there looking over the orrery, observing something. And when you enter, it greets you with a voice. Ah, it has been so long.
Are you SAO?
We are many things. SAO, yes.
You say we.
Indeed.
Who am I speaking to?
SAO will do fine for you to refer to us. We are a collective. A Lumi. That is Lumi, by the way.
Yes.
Um, well, Aseo, are you aware of the current status of the material plane?
Indeed, we have many memories of the past and present. Unfortunately, none of the future.
Uh,
This may
well,
help as an explanation. We are a collective of the embers of dragons that have died in recent times. Daiten is here too.
well, goddamn.
That's I
Hello.
wasn't quite expecting that.
Okay.
Have you always been this? Or is this a new development?
That is an interesting question. We have not always been dragon.
What
That is new.
brought about this change?
We take on the form of the strongest wills that have been absorbed. Recently, we absorbed some dragons, and that led to us becoming as a dragon.
Ah, I see. Clement says,
Daiten
not seeing at all.
and Sao are among the strongest of wills in this collective.
Oh, so
Oh,
the Lumi, have not always been dragon, but SAO has always been dragon, but you are not quite SAO? But you
Correct.
contain SAO as well.
We contain many.
Okay, I see.
Have you seen creatures in this place? Or the people below?
Yeah.
These are embers. These are connected to the living beings of the other realms. There are embers for each of you currently. I have chanced upon a few of them. You may as well. When embers die due to their bound mortal dying, those memories are dispersed as sparks into the ether. And we Lumi absorb these memories to preserve them so that they are not lost forever. We are caretakers, shepherds, and though the embers are beautiful and bright creatures of hope and light, they do not truly think like we do. Like you and I do.
fascinating.
Wow.
I suppose I was just about to ask, do you think like I do? So thank you for preempting that question. It's very kind of you.
It is a
Um,
frequent question brought up when meeting mortals for the first time.
are there multiple of you, or
Indeed,
do you all share the same consciousness
there are
in this whole
multiple.
layer? Okay.
We are collectives of the sparks born of embers. And we have life cycles of our own. When we die, we are absorbed by other Lumi as well.
You are
Occasionally,
absorbed by other Lumi? Are you all called Lumi? I was getting the impression that was your name, but are there multiple of you with the same name? Are all of the Loomies just smaller bits of one big Loomie? How does that work?
Lumi is what we are. It is not who we are.
Oh, I see. Sorry for my
Much like
insensitivity.
a human, tiefling, changeling.
Is the intended end result that there's one very large Lumi that has encompassed all thinking and willful things in the multiverse?
We can be absorbed by other Lumi, and other Lumi absorb us. But when a Lumi grows too large, that is too many memories for one conscious mind to access at once, and the Lumi is split, forming two new separate Lumi.
How interesting. Do you go out and seek for strong wills to absorb, or does it just sort of happen to you?
We
I
do.
suppose I should be wondering if I act up too much, am I going to get snatched up by a hungry Lumi?
That is a fair concern, but no. We tend to the embers, and we watch over them, maintain them, and when the time comes for their bound mortal to die, we ensure there is always a Lumi nearby to absorb those sparks, so that the memories and emotions, the life that was lived, can be, in some way, preserved and honored, not scattered to the void.
I see. That certainly seems like a better option than some of the fates that some of my companions seem to have been trying to avoid. I suppose it's one of those things where if it happens to you, you just sort of take it in stride.
Well, the embers don't really have any thoughts, any will, or any ability to take things in stride.
Perhaps you could say the only ability they have is to take things in stride.
That is another way of looking at it, certainly. The embers are not souls, make no mistake. They are, well, constructs of hope and life and light. They are pure positive energy connected to a mortal soul, but not a part of it.
Oh, that's lovely.
They send positive energy to mortal souls, and in return, receive the memories and emotions of that soul, so that they may be preserved here in the Eternal City.
Clemens doesn't understand the difference between a creature receiving the memories and just getting sucked into a conglomerate being, but she's going to nod sagely as though she understands. Quite interesting indeed.
Well, yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot to take in. I imagine you're fascinated. Quick question: are all beings in this realm Lumi, or are there just some of you?
There are many Lumi, as we are individually many, but even discarding that and regarding us as individuals, there are many of us. This universe has been around for a long time. Many Lumi have been generated by it. But There are other beings here. You may have already met some. I take it if you have made it thus far, you've already explored some other layers of this plane.
Oh, you know about the layers. Yes, we've been to both others. We met the gardener and we met the architect as well of the second layer, and now we're here in your what seems like some level of omnipotence. Do you know why we're here?
We have little power of our own, but we do have great knowledge, many memories compounded, and we are granted the knowledge of this plane and how it works so that we may perform our duties of watching over the embers. You may have encountered Lumi on the other planes, the other layers, pardon the DM, on the other layers as well, but they are far fewer on the layers with fewer embers of sentient beings. Embers of rabbits and deer take a long time to form a new Lumi. Embers of humans, tieflings, changelings, like you three, they form new Lumi quite quickly.
Mm.
You may have met one of the architects then.
Yes, we did.
They are not Lumi. They are above the Lumi. They are the ones with the real power here. They also have other servants, though many of them take servants in the form of embers.
How does an ember serve as a servant if it doesn't have any will of its own?
It's not so much that they are pressed into service or accept the service or so on. It's more that the architects select embers that are already predisposed to do a certain task and put them in a certain place.
Oh, lovely,
You may
says
have,
Clemens.
if you were at the refuge, you may have seen many such embers. They are helpful people. They are full of, like I said, hope and light and life. And though they have no true thoughts, they are still quite capable of holding a conversation.
Do you think any of them might be predisposed to coming along and doing some of that servant stuff in my magical pirate ship? I have quite a lot of little magical servants who I have um, politely asked to do many things for me, but I'm beginning to feel a little bad about it if there are potentially options for creatures who are just simply predisposed to helping with those sorts of things.
Depends on the nature of the service, of course. The servants don't tend to do tasks they don't enjoy, obviously. The number one example is, of course, the refuge and hope. The embers there that are brought to that lair are healers and caretakers. Embers are born to live their ideal life. They can send those feelings on as dreams to their tied mortals. So if an ember dreams of becoming a healer or a caretaker or something of that nature, they will likely end up in the refuge, serving any of the guests that would arrive there. This magic pirate ship I am not familiar with, but if it is here on Irian, then it should be possible if the nature of service is something that one would enjoy doing.
Interesting. That gives me some ideas. Well, thank you very much for the information.
Glad to be of service. And the golden glowing sun head bows just a little bit.
Would would any of you mind if I summoned the pirate ship and sort of did an open house and asked Asked some of these lovely embers if they'd like to come on board. It
We
would,
still got time, right?
oh gosh, I don't know.
Um,
It would, it would prevent me from being able to teleport us, um, until I got some rest, but I don't know that that would really mean much in our current situation.
do you do you think that do you think we're going to be able to take them out? Are you trying to get a crew?
I was sort of trying to get a crew, and it did cross my mind that they may simply vanish.
Hey,
If,
worth a try. Fuck it.
Yes, such creatures cannot easily leave this place, and they will soon fade if they do, but. Well, your spell, I assume. I'm gathering this information as you speak. It is, one that connects to another place, yes?
yeah, I'm not entirely sure how it all works. I learned it from a very strange old man who was rambling quite a lot. Uh, it it sort of creates a connection to a little plane that I may or may not have conjured out of my own will and imagination, or it may have pre-existed before I tapped into it. I still haven't quite figured that one out. But yes, it is quite likely it would not allow the embers to remain here.
Perhaps you could move this pirate ship to this plane and have your spell connect to it here instead.
Oh, now there's an idea. It's a very good idea.
May require some tinkering with the spell, but should be doable.
Thank you for the lead.
Happy to be of service.
Imagine if we could connect the pirate ship to the spa anytime we felt like it. Imagine a pirate ship floating in a spa. A really big one.
Oh, baby.
I think I need to find some very old wizards to help me with this, though. Tinkering with spells is a little bit outside my area of expertise.
Hmm. Well, fortunately, you do happen to have two 20-int arcane casters in your party with you as well
Nice.
here.
Clemens is so ignorant when it comes to how all this works. She literally doesn't even know that she's talking to people who may actually have that expertise.
Yeah. It would be funny having Clemens take the party around to all these old wizards that are like level 5 wizards or things like that when you have level
This guy
20
looks really
casters.
promising. Look at his
Yeah.
beard.
Yeah, the beard is proportional to the spellcasting knowledge, of course. So
And he's like, yeah, I know how to take a ice spell and turn it into a fire spell. A pretty big deal.
yeah. Yeah, I'm a School of the Scribe wizard or whatever it's called. I took that subclass. All right. One other type of being you may encounter in this place are, well, celestials of various varieties. Much less tied to the plane of light itself, but employed as guards mostly, or as more powerful creatures in service of the architects that can also think, unlike the embers. Us Lumi are not so good in a fight or at protecting. We are merely shepherds of light, so to speak.
Oh, interesting. So I suppose that's one of the ways that taking a copy of the thoughts of somebody isn't the same as absorbing them, as you don't necessarily have all of the potency of those who make you up.
We do not, though we may look impressive. with this.
You certainly do look impressive.
We appreciate that. No, we are rather frail, as it were, unfortunately. But that is because more of our being is dedicated to memory than anything else. You could think of us as one giant shiny brain.
What a lovely picture.
Not much room for muscle.
But very shiny.
Very shiny.
Out of character, what was our particular goal on this layer of the plane?
Oh, we're trying to find the
Yes.
hole.
Place anchor.
Yes.
Drop it
That's our
in.
general goal. We don't know if we're on the right layer still.
Right.
I mean, I think this is 3 of 3, so I hope so.
3 has a very different meaning here compared to the mortal planes.
There's a secret basement layer that they're not telling us about.
Fuck me. Um,
Get into the
Of
elevator
course.
and it's like floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, floor E, floor
or
stall.
3B.
Oh,
Shit.
you guys should see the other party trying to navigate the plane of madness right now. It's real fun.
Oh, God almighty.
They haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet, and they're already fighting an elder brain dragon.
Oh no!
I saw that.
What?
Jesus Christ.
We're getting off so easy so far.
Oh, no, I know. Next one.
You guys have plane of
Fucking
battle next, so
coming from the
I
top
was-
rope.
Milos doesn't know the extent, but boy, is he glad he's never been to the plane of madness.
I hope you guys are ready for like 4 straight sessions of combat after this plane, just to catch you guys up on fights.
So they're fighting an elder brain dragon, and we're just talking to a shiny brain dragon.
Yes, yeah,
Having
exactly.
a pleasant conversation.
Over
Oh, yeah, no.
tea and crackers with basically a sun god dragon of knowledge. Yeah.
The pain train's building up steam. We're going to hear the choo-choo soon.
Yeah, I hope you guys are ready for real big critical multipliers.
Well, while we are in the happy zone, so who is where can we find, or I guess, do we want to find the architect of this layer?
The architect of this layer would be the Dawn Empress.
And where might we find her?
That is a good question.
Oh dear.
Uh,
The Dawn Empress, though the name sounds majestic and glorious, as she truly is, spends most of her time among the embers in disguise, living life alongside them, bringing joy and hope to the residents of her city in a more direct way.
Hey, Carrick, which way does the anchor point?
Carrick holds up the anchor and it points down, like kind of behind the island you guys are standing on, and somewhere deep within the city. But it is pointing to a direction.
Cool. I'm betting she's that way.
I suppose that's as
Yeah,
good
that-
an estimate as any.
Yeah, that seems pretty good. Then I guess before we leave you to it, to whatever you do here, are there any dangers in this layer that we should be aware of?
None that are native here, though this place is, as alluded to by the presence of Celestials as guards, occasionally under attack by other planes, especially those the work of Mabar. But
And
you should be safe.
who might Mabar be?
The plane of eternal darkness, our
Oh,
opposite,
lovely.
completing the cycle of planar life. Elements of each plane are broken off and fall into Mabar, where they meet the eternal void and are demolished. Well, this plane regenerates the pieces and puts them back where they go. This is the role of the gardener, who you may have already met. Growing seeds of all of the planes to patch up the gaps that are destroyed.
Yes, we have made a acquaintance.
I figured. You all have strong ties to fate. I remember that. Sorry, we remember that from reading the Draconic Prophecy. Your names come up a lot. So of course you would run into the most important figures of, in our unbiased opinion, the most important plane. What is this device you use? I'll assume Carrick would give an explanation of it, as he was the one who created it, explaining that it is a world anchor that will stabilize the plane, but you need to find the center of mass, essentially, of the plane to put it in, but it's kind of more like the center of planar magic, all this stuff. He goes on this tangent, which the dragon seems to understand perfectly well, like just nodding along, like, yep, of course, yep, cool, got it.
What a lot of words to say it's a magic compass.
Basically. And the dragon will chime in then, eventually. Ah, yes. Well, if it is a point of importance you seek, I imagine your compass is pointing to the Dawn Throne. Whether or not the Dawn Empress may be there, the location may be more important. You have little ways of a journey to get there, but if your compass points there, well, you won't get lost, at least.
Yes, I suppose it is the best place to start. If she could be anywhere among the embers. I suppose that place is a subset of everywhere. Although I suppose this place is also a subset of everywhere, and she's not here.
Yes.
You're not secretly her, are you? Some of the people that we've met, that seems like exactly the kind of thing that they would do. Although you seem a little more straightforward than that.
We are not, though. After we described to you how she hides herself amongst the embers, we can understand your concern. But trust us. When she is not in disguise, you will find her far more radiant and glorious than even our form of light. Though you may find her in taking the form of any creature amongst the embers. She may not even be humanoid.
That may be a little problematic. Well, nothing for it but to set out. Unless anyone has any other ideas.
Is there anything else we can do to help you on this journey? It is... Oh, though you are not embers, we have met the embers you are bound to, and it is our duty and desire to be of service.
But do you have any ideas of how you might be of assistance? You know who we're trying to find. You've been very helpful with laying all of these facts out for us. And was there anything else you were thinking of? If you saw an ember that was actually the Empress, would you recognize her?
Of course. Or she would not be an ember.
Hmm.
Her
Ah,
tricks would fool only you and the other embers unless you have some form of magical sight.
Oh, that makes sense. Do we have magical sight?
I mean,
don't.
I got true sight.
If you
Oh,
got
so we
true
should.
sight, you'd see through it, yeah.
Ah,
Aha!
Being
Yeah.
a.
I think I described it before, Faye. You see all these ember creatures as kind of similar to this Lumi creature. There's not like a glowing ball of light, but just they appear to be more like glowy light specters than like the shell of their like physical form around that to you,
okay, cool.
which others can see kind of out of the corner of their eye sometimes, even if they don't have true sight. But
Gotcha.
sorry, Clemens, I cut you off.
Being a glorious dragon-shaped creature, is there any chance you might be able to fly really high up and just sort of look around?
It
See if you can see
stretches out
her.
its wings and kind of gently flaps them and says, "We can fly, of course, yes. Flying up to scout. Is that what you request?"
Yes, if you wouldn't mind.
Of course. We can fly overhead during your journey and notify you if we notice anything.
Thank you. Do we have any other ideas of either strategies we might take or things that we might ask of this good Lumi? For
I
some reason,
don't.
it feels like a slur when I say it. I don't know why. I don't intend anything by it.
None taken.
I don't know what else to ask, but I think we can start moving. Like we've got unlike the previous layers, we've got a direction, and we've got some info. I think we might be good to go.
Then off we go.
All right. So, y'all are high in the sky on an island, and there is endless city below you. You do have a compass direction, but by what manner of travel do you propose to follow the compass?
That's a very good question.
Featherfall.
That's a valid option.
How long do we think the journey to the throne would be, even if that's only our destination because we don't have a better destination?
Okay, it's Journey to the Throne. Well, Journey to the Throne, depending on how fast you can travel. Well, for myself, ourself, caught myself there. For ourself,
You caught
it is-
yourself?
I caught ourself. Yes. For ourself, it is usually a day and a half journey from here.
Well, I can't fly all that time, unfortunately. Hmm. Is it mostly sky that we would be passing through? I don't remember what
That's,
the terrain that we'd have to be going through is.
Just urban sprawl. You can
Gotcha.
either fly over it, or you could make your way through the alleys and stuff below.
The
Alleys
mention
and
of
streets
Featherfall made me suddenly hesitant that I was not remembering something
that-
very
Yeah.
important.
No, that I just recommended that because we were on an island above it, right?
Yeah,
And we've
you
got to
are-
get down
Gotcha.
somehow.
Yeah, you are high above the sprawl at the moment, but there are like channels with boats and roads with wagons and foot traffic and all manner of possible ways to travel
Gotcha.
down there if you don't want to fly. Yeah.
We
so
could
there's
near's edge
options.
it.
You could run rooftop to rooftop. That's a
Yeah,
possibility.
that's how Clement spent most of her time when she was hunting down Silver Flame people.
That's how
so-
the party met, Clemens.
Yes. So that's how she intends to go about it.
How far can Featherfall reach? I would estimate you guys are about 1,000 feet off the nearest building. Off the nearest,
me
like,
look.
short building. You could probably hit a skyscraper from here in a little bit shorter distance. But another
Rate of
just tall
descent
building.
slows to 60 feet per round, and it lasts for 1 minute.
Okay, 60 feet per round, 1 minute.
So that's 600 feet.
600 feet, yeah. So
if I just time it really well.
yeah, you guys technically could just skydive for part of it and then Featherfall
Okay.
the rest. Yeah, that's true.
I have faith in you.
You don't even have to time it all that well. You just have to time it within the lower 2/3, basically,
Just
and you'll be okay.
don't pass out in
Yeah.
midair, and you're fine.
I will fly alongside and do a catch if I need to, I
Aw.
guess. And fail the strength save.
Yeah, the range is 60 feet, so you just have to stay within 60 feet of me.
Faye is falling, tries to pull up on 3 people with their wings and just all crash in the ground instead. Taking Faye with them, yeah. Perfect. Faye turns into a kaiju chicken again just for this. I'm picturing it.
I'm trying to not burn the. I'll do it.
Good.
I'll do it midair if I need to.
Okay. So you guys jump off, and I'm gonna set this a pretty low DC, just dexterity roll for you, Milos.
Dexterity roll.
Easy. Okay. Yeah, I only set it at a DC 12. So
Is that for everybody or just for Milos?
just for
I have
Milos
to
to
cast the
time.
spell.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
timing the spell, casting in midair, all that. Casting while falling and wind is blowing around you, and taking the air out of your mouth while you try to cast components and things. But you manage it. So you're partway down the flight. You've reached terminal velocity at that point, but Featherfall catches all of you, slows you down to a more reasonable pace. You guys drift down into the city, where you quickly pick up, well, I should say, the sounds of the rushing wind in your ears quickly is replaced with the sound of the hustle and bustle of the city below. The people chattering as they walk, the sounds of wagon wheels bumping over the cobblestone streets, sounds of people calling out things to each other as they, are going about their business, whether somebody's loading something and they call out for somebody else to catch something, or somebody is barking orders across a street to direct traffic. Things of that nature. It's all going on here. People ringing bells, trying to attract people into their establishments. Just chaos, really. And all around you are just endless people going about their business, going about their day. Very rarely alone. They seem to be walking in groups and such, though some are alone and just sort of wandering and taking in the landscape around them. And none of them really seem to notice any of you all that much. They seem to be sort of set in some sort of routine, or, not really creatures that are meant to interact with travelers from other universes. But here they are, and here you are, and you're on the streets of the Amaranthine city of the Dawn Empress. What do you guys do?
Clemens quickly realizes that not having true sight, her looking around and scouting is going to do exactly nothing. So she's going to say, so how can I be helpful as we're doing this search?
Well, I don't particularly know. I'm just thinking we should go towards the thing on the compass, and I'll just keep an eye out along the way. I'll focus on that, and you just take my hand and pull me in the right direction. I imagine these two things might overlap. And frankly, if I'm being honest, if we find the anchor and not the architect, I don't particularly give a shit. As long as we hit our goal, if A is not necessary for B, that's fine. If we find the architect, then we'll cross that bridge.
All
And
right then.
until we are lost, I say let's keep on keeping on. But I will look out for anything suspicious. Me and my abysmal perception.
I think it also gets exceedingly more likely that we'll run into her the closer we get to the throne, right? Because I mean,
Exactly.
she's got to spend some time there.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna just. I mean, I doubt she's just gonna be like pretending to run an orange stand. Like I'm sure.
Right, for like 30 years straight, and then doing the same thing on the opposite side of the city. Like,
Creating a rivalry with herself.
um. Yeah, so I say we keep going.
All right, and so you take a bit of time headed towards your destination, which is quite far away, frankly. I'm assuming you guys are all just traveling at a normal traveling pace, just walking along the streets and stuff.
I would assume so.
All right. So the tireless dragon told you guys that the journey was about a day and a half for them at top speed, which is significantly faster than your travel speed. So you guys can take the slow journey there if you want, and that is an option. But if you want a faster way, you might have to figure something else out. Because let's do some napkin math here.
Mm.
The dragon is roughly 5 times faster than you, and does not need to stop to take rests for. It can travel significantly more than 8 hours a day. I should say it can travel 24 hours a day. So if it is traveling a total distance of 36 hours,
That's a lot of hours.
and then you guys can only travel 8 hours per day without taking breaks and without pushing constitution saves for exhaustion. You're looking at a walking travel distance of over 3 weeks.
Yeah, fuck that.
Which is, I mean,
yeah, 3 weeks. Like, we need to place the anchor by the given time, right? But
indeed.
what's that timeline look like?
So you guys went straight from chaos to here, so you don't have a great how to describe this. The difference in time, like the passage of time relative to the material plane, is different on all the planes. However, during this window where you're going through this gauntlet, this is a special window where those are mostly matched up, but a little different still. And since you haven't checked in with the material plane, a little hard to tell exactly how long you've been gone in Earth hours, so to speak, in Eberron hours. But let's see, you guys were here for a couple days already, I believe, right? And between chaos and here, didn't you guys long rest somewhere?
Yes, that sounds
Yes.
right.
Yeah,
We did
right when we
before
got
this
here.
point.
Yeah, right before this plane. So it's been at least like 2 days. It's been at least a day, we'll say, which is a pretty good pace, honestly, for already getting one plane done. The time limit originally set for this, the prophecy declared this window would be a month long, which in Eberron is 28 days.
Like, we don't
It's
exactly
4
have
weeks.
3 weeks to walk across the city, sightsee.
Yeah, fuck, this city's huge.
We could just keep walking through doors, right? And see. Does the compass tell us like how close we are to a thing,
It doesn't.
or
tell us.
can?
Only a direction.
All right, I have two. I see two ways.
Can we hire an orphan to lead us there through as few jumps as possible?
Half an A press.
um, Okay. One idea. It's served us so far. We can try another form of thought travel. Alternatively,
Well, if we can find anybody who has an object taken from the throne room or someplace close to it, I could just teleport us there, assuming that there's no teleport blocking in here.
ooh, ooh, interesting.
That would I would need to get an actual password to teleport us there, or we would need an object, because otherwise there's a very good chance we would get just like hurled into the plane of darkness or something, rather than
Like,
coming anywhere near where we
Yeah,
wanted to
fuck all
go.
that.
how good of a chance? Ask
Well,
your
says
friend.
Clemens, that's a very good question, because the very old lady who taught me how to teleport was very mysterious about it.
Okay. Oh,
Potentially almost a 50% chance of something very bad happening.
okay, that's a lot of
Yeah,
chance.
fuck all that.
Yes.
No, I am not throwing our life's journey away for getting ported somewhere because we couldn't figure out how to travel.
But you
No,
know,
no, no, no,
if
no.
somebody if somebody happened to have, like, I don't know, a doorknob they pulled off of the throne room, that would be no issue whatsoever. But if they lied, we would probably about a 50% chance of dying horribly.
Is there a door next to me?
I have to assume there's
Yeah,
like
you're on a
several doors
street.
next to you.
There are
Yeah, I wanted to.
multiple.
Can I knock on the door?
So the nearest buildings are like
Um,
the fronts to stores and stuff. There are some more
Uh,
like residential buildings looking down the street a little bit if you want to go down there and like just knock on a
nah,
door.
nah.
Okay.
I was
Imagine
only
going
going
to
to
a
ask if the person had a doorknob if they were right there.
Imagine a shopping district in this place, but every door you pass through takes you to another part of the city. So the shopping district is the furthest place you could possibly be from actually getting into the stores you want to go into.
The
That would be
nightmare.
super cool.
And then one day you leave your house and you're just in the grocery store.
You're at soup.
You're at soup. Yeah, true.
All right.
Hmm.
Well,
Any
I
door
don't know. I'm
openers in the
feeling like
group?
thought travel is our best bet, though.
Could
For
can
now,
we
unless
can
we
we
find some kind of item.
yeah,
telepathically call to the loot, ask where we might find such an item?
Oh, my headset died.
Oh, I think I pulled my thumb off the key too soon.
I did hear you.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
got
heard you.
you. But let's see. Telepathically call to it. If one of you has a way to call up to it or wave to it, it did say it would be watching.
Clemens will wave.
You see from the bright sky above a spark of light that looks like a star, and the sky gradually grows larger until you see the massive form of the dragon descending to you.
Goodness, they have wonderful eyesight.
We are at your service. How may we help?
It seems like it would be unfeasible for us to walk to the throne. However, I may be able to magically teleport my friends and I to the throne if we had an object that was moderately associated with the general area. I believe I remember that it would have had to have come from that area within the last 6 months. For example, if I was trying to get into a library, a book from that library would be a very suitable object. Is there any chance we might be able to get our hands on such an object that might allow us to get as close as possible to the throne?
An object from the Dawn Throne.
Even a souvenir, if there's like a little gift shop, that might work.
Would
Just
nearby
fine.
work too? Not specifically the Dawn Throne? Because as long as we get close
Yes.
enough, right?
Oh yeah, even reasonably close. Yeah.
Let's see. Can I have one of you roll me a D100? Lower is better for how long it has been since this dragon collective has been to
Oh,
the
man.
Dawn Throne.
Oh no.
That was beat me to it.
It has been 87 days and nights since I have been to. Oh, well, 87 would still be. Hold on. All of this would be under 6 months. Let's make that percentage of a year. So unfortunately, that's a little high. Because that would be a really stupid D100 if it was all just. Okay, yeah. Backing up a
Roll a
little bit.
D100, you succeed.
Yeah, exactly. It has been 87 months since we last had to roll a 6%. Okay, so yeah, it's been most of a year since they've been to the Dawn Throne. You may have more luck discussing this with the Celestials. They are well, that is more their business than mine.
Would you happen to know where we might be able to talk to one of those?
Well, if you see any Pegasus patrols overhead, that would be a good place to start.
Do we see any Pegasus patrols? Have we seen any Pegasus patrols?
You definitely saw some when you arrived.
Gotcha.
Roll me a perception check. Anyone who wants to look for a Pegasi patrol or two.
A Pegasweedle patrol.
Yes, Pegasweedle. Clemens, you hear Pegasi patrol, and I mean that sounds pretty cool. So you immediately start looking for cool Pegasi patrols. And yeah, in the distance, coincidentally, in the direction you're looking with the compass, just down that road, you see just the barely on the edge of your vision, a group of. They look potentially like they might just be birds from here, but something, and they're very large and in the distance. And hey, it's the best lead you've got.
Those are the most horse-shaped birds I've ever seen.
You can kind of only see the wings flapping in like silhouette from this distance.
Would you mind flying up to that patrol up there, if that's what I'm seeing, and ask if they might be willing to assist us in this matter?
Of course. We will be right back.
Thank you.
And potentially surprisingly, the dragon does not fly in the direction of the patrol. It flies straight up into the sky with pretty shocking speed, and then you just see a star fall like towards that group of Pegasi patrols in the distance. And then it flies up into the sky again, the star disappearing.
Did they just call a meteor down on those Pegasi?
It like slowed down and then gently landed among them before returning up. But yes, basically. And then that patrol turns and faces you all and heads in your direction. And within a few minutes, they've caught up to you all. Of course, despite going straight up into the sky and back down again, the dragon beats them by like half time. So, this group of Pegasi, we'll say there are 3 of them, descends on you all, just flying down into the streets, and there are just very heavenly armor-clad angels on their backs, who are just like gold and silver and just bright shining metals for their armor, and complete plate mail, of course, though not so bulky as to get in the way of their duties. But very awe-inspiring nonetheless, each of them bearing a sword covered in flame as they dismount their Pegasi, and each of them will take off their helmets as well as they speak with you and just kind of hold it under their arm, just to show a little bit of friendliness. And one will speak up first. I'll say there are one male and two female. One of the female approaches. Oh,
Hello.
hello, we have not had visitors of your like here in quite some time. We were quite shocked to see you here. But, well,
Ah.
these Lumi never lie, so.
Well, thank you very much for allowing us. We appreciate the hospitality. I recognize that we are outsiders. I'll get straight to it, as I assume you are all very busy. We need to get to the Dawn Throne, or at least near there, but unfortunately, the
Ah.
amount of time it would take to get there on foot is far more than more time than we have, and we have the ability to, I kind of nod to Clements, to actually transport ourselves. If this is an odd request, I recognize that, but if we're to have any sort of object moderately associated with that area or the surrounding area, we can get ourselves there. Do you have anything that we could just, and I'd look at Clemens, it doesn't consume it, does it? Like,
Oh,
we just have
that's a
to.
very good question. One moment.
Let me
Clemens
consult.
frantically flips through her spell book, which like every page is written in a different handwriting.
Oh,
I don't I don't believe it does. No, I think I just sort of have to focus on it.
Yeah, yes.
I don't even know if it comes with me actually.
if I may interject as well, this is moving quite quickly. We would like to check a few things, if you would. First, of course, let us introduce ourselves first. I am Aelfiel. This is Uriel. She gestures to the other female angel. And back there is Zafkiel, the male angel. And you all would be...
Pleasure. My name is Faye, and I nod to the others. This is Carrick, and we've got Clemens and then Milos over there and back.
See. So, yes, the Lumi, of course, cannot lie, and it has told us that you are here, and it has told us what it believes, but they are also not good at spotting lies. So that is our job here. Now, travelers showing up after such a long time and requesting to see the Dawn Throne of all places immediately is a bit suspicious. I hope you don't take offense to that.
Of
Fully
course not.
understood.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Entirely understood.
We are under constant watch for the forces of Mabar here. Yes, as it sounds, you do understand. We appreciate you understanding and cooperating. Now, in order for us to get you what you want here, we're going to need to find some way to trust you here. Do you have any... Well, this isn't a place that really carries identification of a sort that travelers would have. Do you have any, well, suggestions for ways you might impress upon us your trustworthiness?
I've got some identification on me. Um, nothing. Well, I mean, it's formal, but I don't know how formal it would be in this plane.
Well, I can tell you if it comes from the material plane, we might not be able to work with that so
Yeah.
much.
I was afraid not.
I wield the guidance of the silver flame, and it seems to like me fairly well. I keep asking it to guide my hand, and it hasn't ordered me to kill myself or anything. Would you like to see it?
Aha. We have not had acolytes of the silver flame in this place for quite a long time. Longer so than other forms of travelers, even.
It's gonna look over it and say,
Well, permit me, please, and I'm about to draw an artifact that I assure you is not an act of violence. In fact, I can't even use it effectively, but I'm going to, like, handle first to kind of lay truth in my hands in front and say, this is.
And you get cut off by the male angel,
Mm.
who like almost seems shocked as you draw out this thing. He says, "Ah, this is the blade of truth. I recognize this one.
A fan? Question
Oh, that's
mark.
pretty cool.
A fan indeed, a fan indeed. Oh, it has been many
Right.
years since this has been drawn by a mortal. I take it great things are afoot then."
Yes, indeed. And if you know truth, you also must know that I am, even with my considerable powers of the verbal variety, I am incapable of telling a lie. So, if
Of
you have
course.
any questions for us, I would happily answer. It's very very helpful that you know what this is, so I don't have to try to persuade you or anything. And I truly do promise, with that in mind, that we are here of noble and nonviolent purpose.
Indeed, I can vouch for them. I can vouch for them. And you, Clemens, was it? You said you bear the guidance
Yes.
as well.
And Clemens will draw guidance and offer it out.
Oh my, may I?
Yes, of course.
And he just kind of reaches out with like a shaking hand to grab it, and it almost seems like heavy in his hand, and he's like, oh, like he's being extremely gentle and ginger with it. Like, oh my. I do not want to hurt it here. Take it back, but thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Can I shake all of your hands, please?
Uh,
Oh,
Yes.
of course.
I
Go
would
around
be
with the-
honored.
The other two
Is
angels,
loving it.
Iofiel and Uriel, seem pretty annoyed by Zafkiel here. But, like, of course, well,
It's a frickin' silver boo.
Uriel's already remounting her Pegasus, like, well, if Zafkiel vouches for you and he knows these things, I trust him. He has boundless knowledge on the topic. Yes, well, I take it then. We can trust you indeed. As Zafkiel's going around, just shaking your hands one by one. Iafel, the one who originally addressed you all, is sort of like having to sway back and forth to look over him or around him at some of you as she talks. Well, an item from the Dawn Throne. How, what are the qualifiers on that? Any item?
The note that I have here from the person who taught me the spell said, if I was trying to get into the tomb of some very powerful creature, even a bit of stone from the inner sanctum of that tomb would be sufficient. I don't think the item has to have any inherent value so much as there needs to be some sort of inherency to the location, if that makes any sense.
Yes, I see.
I
This
don't
does
think
make
you
sense.
could put a drink down and then take it from there. But if there was perhaps a mug that somebody used every day who lived close by, that might be enough. If they sat on the stoop every day and drank their coffee, for example.
Well, fortunately enough, she begins messing with some of the buckles on the armor of her right arm. I happen to have some armor repaired just within the past few months here. And she removes one of her bracers and hands that out to you, Clemens.
Oh, thank you very
Hopefully
much.
this will suffice.
Now, if this works, I'm fairly certain the item will come with us, though I'm not sure. It may simply drop to the ground.
Worry
If
not.
we do get there, how would you like me to return this to you?
Worry not. We will get a new one.
Thank you
Resources
very
are
much.
really no concern in this place.
But I assume that you're all busy on patrol. Would any of you like to come with us? I don't know if you have any further doubts about our intentions.
Well,
That's Let me see. It seems I can teleport up to 8 creatures. There's certainly fewer than 8 of us.
Including the Pegasi, though, that's more
That
than
is
8.
quite a lot of people, yes.
The Zafkiel, they all three angels sort of share a look back and forth at each other, trying like kind of wordlessly asking that same question to each other as you speak it. And Zafkiel looks extremely hopeful as he's looking at the two other angels, like eyes wide, like back and forth, like eyebrows raised, huh, like, and I think Uriel would speak up and say, "Well, I suppose at least one of us should go with you just to keep an eye on you. We do trust you, of course, but well, you could always use our assistance and well, we could help keep you safe, defend you while you're here. You are guests of this plane, after all. I nominate myself." She says. Valkiel says, like, "We can't have someone who is so enamored with you accompanying you. That would defeat at least part of the purpose, you see." And he's like,
Yes, I suppose that
"Aw."
makes sense.
He like begins to get back up on his Pegasus.
Sad angel noises.
Yeah.
I almost feel bad for the dude.
Your turbo fan is disappointed. IFL seems torn at the moment. Do you guys have any input?
I don't know that Clemens particularly cares which
Do you want
one would come. She definitely thinks it would be useful to have an angel along.
I guess the question is, do you want the like turbo fanboy, or do you want the slightly cynical one?
Right.
That's up to you guys.
I mean, either of them, it really seems like would be perfectly happy to help us, but like,
I want the cynical one because I think we are like, I don't think we're trying to pull a fast one on him or anything. And if someone's suspicious is like, all right, yeah, they're clear, they're good, then we're in good shape. Whereas like
it doesn't look like we've
fanboy-
ensorcelled an angel with our ancient magics and forced him to do our will.
That's very true.
Yeah.
yeah, I want the credibility.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. So if you say nothing, then eventually, IFO will be on board as well. Yes, I suppose that does make sense. Very well. Uriel, you stay here with them, partake in their magics. We will take your Pegasus along with us and make sure it gets its exercise for the day on the rest of our patrol. And well, we'll meet you at the usual place, of course. No, not in. It's extra awkward because as as Uriel has has said all these things and shot down Zafkiel's greatest desire. She was already mounted up on her Pegasus, ready to leave because she was disinterested with the situation, but now has to dismount so that she can join you all. So, like, very specifically, she was the only one who was already mounted and ready to go. Now Zafkiel has to mount. So she jumps down. The rest of the angels depart. Zafkiel never stops looking at you as he leaves. Like, if the horse turns, he'll like look over the other shoulder to look back at you all, and
Like a
eventually you
fucking
can't
dog
see
in a
them anymore.
car.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna enthusiastically wave. Bye, Zafkiel.
Wave back as well. Yeah, of course. Well, now, so this magic you have Uriel's bracelet. So,
yes.
or sorry,
I
no,
think...
it was IFL who gave you the bracelet. Uriel was this one. Yes, correct. Okay.
Yes. I think everybody. I don't know. I don't think we have to hold hands, but it seems like the thing to do.
Well, we don't want
Oh
to mess
yeah,
up the
we
spell.
must. We've done it so far. Yeah.
And then
Alright.
I just say the magic word, and we should be there. If I understand everything properly. Otherwise, no. I won't
Or
even.
somewhere.
Clement's rolling in, about to
what
fucking
is-
kill us all.
What is this magic word?
Teleport, I think.
All right, roll the spell. Let's see. What do you need to roll with the parameters? Because I think there is one with an uncertain one like this, right?
If I
my.
have the item, it's 1 to 100 to get there properly.
Aha.
If I've
Roll a
actually
0.
only received a description, if that's what the ruling is, then we have a 43% chance of something really very bad happening.
Okay.
Motherfucker.
I would say you do have an item from that location.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I will bump you down one level of
Okay.
familiarity though. So let's see. What would be the next level down?
The next one would be very familiar, which means we still have a really good
looks
chance.
like, yeah. 75% chance of directly on target, and then like a 90%.
Is this a roll?
Nice.
Nice.
Excellent.
I was gonna ask if I could flash it, but
No, you can't.
no point.
but
It's a 69.
You rolled nice. So yeah, just because this plane is very funky when it comes to space stuff, and so teleport can go a little awry here. So I'll bump it down to 1. But yes, a 69 is nice and also completely on target. So 1 second.
Look, it worked.
Yeah, Clement says, you're asked, what is the magic word? Clement says, teleport, and then pop, you guys are suddenly in a completely different location.
Wow. Sure glad that was 100% chance of not fucking up.
I told you all, there was nothing to worry about.
You guys only had a 5% chance of something going wrong there, to be fair. But
I told you there was literally no chance of anything bad happening.
Perfect.
It was awfully convenient.
Well, that was somewhat. I fear I have lost my bearings a little bit. I may need to adjust to that. But yes, here we are in a whole new location so quickly.
Yes, it's pretty incredible.
And speaking of the location, you guys are at. You know what? I could be slightly mean here, but with a 69, I'll say you're at the top of a very long staircase instead of the bottom of a very long staircase. Leading
68.
up. Yeah. Oh, sorry. You're so close. So you're actually at the bottom of the staircase. So you got like 10 flights to go. Good luck.
Looking up at Dio at the top of the stairs.
Yes. No, it's just...
We get halfway to the top and Dio moves the stack down.
There's just a harmless door in the middle of the staircase halfway up. Do you open it? So this staircase is very, very long. It is goes up what it looks like something between like a pyramid and a ziggurat. Not quite as structured as that, but just this incredibly wide base of a structure that tapers up towards the top of the staircase, where you are now, and several other staircases from around the outside of the structure lead up to sort of a ring that you are now standing on the outside. Inside this ring, there's a staircase down into a sort of garden and courtyard area that is shaded from the light just a little bit, though obviously the shadows are not deep enough to really be recognizable as shadows in the real world, but here the slightly less bright light is at least something that can be recognized as a shadow to your brains in this place. And of course, your lovely trees and fountains and stuff. It almost looks like a piece of the garden you were in previously sort of transported here. In this garden, in the center of the garden, is just a massive tower that just stretches up into the sky. Who knows how far up into the air it goes? It's you from your current position, sort of at the base of the tower. It is really hard to see the top of the tower from here.
Oof.
Just because of the perspective, you know. So
it's pretty trippy.
That's where you are.
Hey, Carrick, what that compass do?
Compass is he holds it out and it points towards the tower. He sort of angles it up and it points up towards the top of the tower.
You love to see
top
it.
or like part way up?
I mean, it kind of points up. You know what? I'll have Carrick roll a investigation check. I think it's fair for this. His investigation bonus is +5. That is a 21. Pretty good. So he,
Up.
tilting it at different angles to try and get a feel for exactly where it's pointing and stuff. Rotating it across different axes and would tell you all. Yeah, it looks like pretty much the top of the tower. One of the highest floors at the very least, if there are even floors to this place. Well, we are here. So, down beneath the garden would be our barracks, of course, but I take it you're not here for that. She's sort of looking at Carrick, moving the compass around in all different angles, kind of puzzled. I don't know what's going on there, but if you were here to visit the Dawn Empress, I don't believe she's in today, but she would normally be at the top if you want to wait. She may come around sometime today, she may not. That is the usual state of business here.
And when you say may and wait, and
Well-
perhaps today, is that she may come in today, and we've been saying that for the last 30 years, and she hasn't been in once, but there's always the chance. Or
Yes.
is it? I see. Thank you.
Uriel, does that mean if accompanied and supervised, of course, that we could go to the top and wait for her?
Well, I suppose the protocols don't say you can't. It's just that nobody really wants to, so I guess we haven't needed a protocol for that. You see, we get so
Sounds like a
few
good plan.
visitors here that the Empress has no reason to sit on her throne. There are no guests for her to attend to there. And us angels, well, we have our business guarding the realm, and we rarely require intervention of any kind, so she entertains herself elsewhere, doing what is far more productive in bringing more hope and more light to the realm, of course. There's little reason for her to take her throne.
Well,
It is more of a symbol of this place, a glorious figure of the Empire.
well, I will be very straightforward with you. Our purpose here is to attune with a particular place in the realm, or in the plane, and that very much appears to be at the top of this tower. That said, if us arriving there brings the Empress, I would love to meet her and to talk with her about this and to not do anything against anyone's will. Again, we're here, noble purpose, and I want to be completely straightforward with you so you know that we are not trying to do anything untoward. But I believe, and please correct me if I'm wrong, it seems that your powerful Dawn Empress, if she senses the purpose of us going up there, that she may come by. And if she doesn't, we're not going to break anything. We will be on our way. But can you do that for us?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Yeah, buddy. It's my specialty. Not great. Give me a flash, somebody.
I will burn one of Carrick's flashes since he is not here to say otherwise. So that is actually a 23.
Mm.
You're just one shy of Eli's lowest possible. such a silly bard subclass with silly
Motherfucker
features.
is wild.
I actually don't even know if what I just said is correct. It's oh no, I'm sorry. It's a 27 is Eli's minimum persuasion roll.
Oh my gosh!
Christ.
Why?
Bards, I guess.
That tongue be crazy.
I
Yeah,
know, but
I mean,
why?
Nakareth has a passive 27 insight as well. A passive
Holy
32 perception. He just sees all. Like, Welcome to tier 4.
And I thought my passive 26 investigation was high.
Fucking verbal final boss.
No,
Eli.
this is why I let Nakareth see into the mind of a god with an insight check previously. He's just got such a crazy level of vision and understanding of those around him. All right. But a 23 is more than enough in this situation as well. Like, yes, well, I'll do my best. I admit I don't understand what is going on all that well, but Zafkiel trusts you, and loath as I am to admit it, if he trusts you for even those reasons, then I trust you as well. He
Well, thank you.
would not be incorrect on his knowledge of ancient religious artifacts. Of that,
I appreciate the goodwill.
So, I am lacking a Pegasus to get up there. I can fly a bit slowly, but climbing the stairs is a bit of a bore, but that's a backup.
Oh, is it open air? Because I got some wings of my own. Carrick can fly.
Garrett can fly.
Got these two fucking landwalkers right here. But maybe
Has boots.
we can fix that. I mean, hell, I can bird up if needed.
I think some fly spells can be worked out here, because
Yeah.
yeah. Because didn't Carrick? Yeah. So Carrick's got that. All right. So I believe with spells, you guys have enough flying to get up there if needed. It's not gonna be hours of flight or anything. I already put the
so
other
like
party
one
through that.
spell could probably do it. Yeah.
The other party already. They had a cloud walk spell or something that was like 300 feet per round, and they were flying up the tower for 5 hours.
Oh, jeez.
So this is not that tall, thankfully. But yes, quite tall. So with what spells are being cast, just so we know what resources to consume and stuff.
I was gonna use boots.
Let's think. What's the most
Boots.
efficient? Like how many? I mean, I could probably do some carrying action with a single polymorph. How much? What spell is it to do fly on a group?
Oh, just
I think it
fly.
just needs
Fly.
2 targets.
Fly. Just
Okay.
you just upcast it.
Okay.
It's one additional creature for each slot level above third.
Yes.
And what's? Oh, okay. So it's a 4th level to give the 2 of you flying.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wait,
just do that.
Two of who?
Isn't it
good question.
Milos and Clements?
Milos has flying
Clemens-
boots.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
so
And
it's
Carrick.
just Clements.
That's what I was gonna ask, because I couldn't remember. Did
Up,
Carrick?
please.
Oh, does Carrick not have the?
Oh yeah,
Boots
Carrick doesn't have
anymore.
flying boots.
Carrick gave
Okay.
Milos the flying boots to attune to something else, I think. But I don't remember if he had another solution for
He
flight
was-
or if he just cast fly on himself usually.
He was still flying around the chaos place, right?
Right. I think he just cast fly on himself? Question mark. I don't remember. Oh, was it the new item he got? I can't remember.
Let's just call it a single 4th level flying from someone. That
I mean, I can put him in the orb real quick and then take him out at the top.
Oh, yes, okay, I found it. The
fucking
new
hilarious way to get around it.
the new item that he crafted during downtime gives him flight. That's why I got rid of the boots. There we go. Okay,
Oh.
so we got it. He's got a
3rd
60
level.
foot fly speed. So, yep. 3rd level's all that's required.
All right, someone do it. I don't have fly.
Do I have fly prepared?
I've got fly.
Okay.
Oh,
How many,
Yeah, take care of
including
yourself.
myself, how many targets do I need to do it
Just
on?
yourself.
just you.
Okay.
Yeah,
One.
easy peasy. One. Including you, 0. Wait.
Clemens has existential crisis.
Oh.
Clemens was an ember the whole time. Okay, so you're all easily able to fly up then. It's only honestly, with the fly speeds you all have, like less than a minute. It's a tall tower, but would you fly that fast? It's not that tall, you know. So Yeah, 60 feet around. You'd fly 10 stories per round. You could go 100 stories. It's definitely, yeah, not too bad. Maybe a couple minutes. But you get to the top. At the top, there is just a massive golden chair, of course. And surrounding it are just all these different statues of they're again massive, and this is a massive tower. These statues appear to be either great warriors or famous adventurers or explorers or scientists or doctors or great people of history, of all different varieties. There's just tons of them here. They're not so giant they tower over the throne itself, but this huge tower is covered with them, so that they are just a multitude of them, of all different races, genders. Some you don't even recognize from your plane of existence. Just a huge tribute to the history of this realm and all realms, really. And yeah, your compass points down to the foot of the throne.
Well, there we are.
And we are a little over time for tonight. I think that is where we'll pick it up next time. But still a slightly short episode this week, thanks to technical difficulties, but we did get through it. And you guys have made your way to the Dawn Throne. And we'll figure out what you do there next time.
Love it.
Yay!
Thanks for running, bud.
Thanks for playing.
running.
Thank you very much, Jordan.
Yeah,
And
Yeah, that was good. That was a
Yeah.
fun little mini goal.
Yeah.
How do we fucking cross a large
I was gonna
distance?
say, let me do some quick napkin math, because it'll be a lot of city walking.
It's a fucking big city. Silver Flame Fanboy Squad is not the turn I expected, and it delighted me.
I didn't expect it either until it happened, but I was like, wait, I could totally do this. Just a stroke of inspiration.
I love it.